Hey, all of you out there in Eorzea, welcome to She Heals I Tank, your weekly Final Fantasy XIV podcast. Today is Friday, August 7th, and this is episode 229 of the Shit Podcast. I'm your host, Vegan Pete, and always by my side is the lovely Avi Ale. You did not hear Avi Ale say anything, but she is still by my side.
Hello, Pete.
Still by my side. You're going to see her drawing some emotes and whatnot on stream today because she has once again, as she usually does quarterly, loses her voice. So Avi once again has no voice tonight. But thank you to everyone joining us here live at twitch.tv/shehealsitank. If you're listening via the podcast, watching on YouTube, or wherever you have chosen for your shit intake, we thank you all so much. Special thanks to everyone who has subbed this past week, and it's the first of the month, so we shout out our recurring subs as well. First time sub from Mr. Gerbic, 2 months for JazzGen1, 3 months for Serenity317, 4 months for Exterminate, BatKid01, Raisna, Esper Eidolon. 5 months we have Talon Broadbent, 6 months, half a year, Unlucky Assassin. 7 months we have Holden Oversoul and Ivory Mist. At 9 months we have Allura for Real and Marcus Kyler. At 10 months we have Adeline and Patrick Mann X. And look, you heard that sound? That is BatKid gifting 5 more subs to the community. Thank you so much, BatKid. At 11 months, we have Ursa Laser, Johnny Smith Apple, Chance M5, and Awesome Austin. At 12 months, 1 year, and keeping up that tier 3 sub, we have Sweecy50. Also at a year, we have Raw Chicken Baguette. At 13 months, we have King of Nokos. 15 months, Aurora42. 19 months, Ace Kaneki with the tier 2. At 20 months, we have Shintier and Hyper Pixie Gaming. 24 months, Venjik. 31 months, Aurori. Also 31, Aja. 30, 35 months, Sorceress 180. And at 36 months, an even 3 years, we have the Real Hot Chili Pepper. And it's the first episode of the month, which of course means that we open up the community roundup to all of you, the community. If you're creating content for Final Fantasy XIV, whether it be streaming, podcasting, making glamour magazines, doing charity streams, lore videos, whatever you might be making, tonight is the night to call up and plug whatever you have going on, or maybe what a friend you know has going on and they don't have time to call in. Feel free to call in and give them a plug during the community roundup. Or maybe you have some questions for our guest tonight. That is right, filling in for Avi. Joining us from across the pond, we have from Moogle Go Round Radio, the great Paul Metal and Chili. I thank you for being here tonight, and I'm sure Avi's voice does as well. How are you guys doing tonight? How about Paul first? How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good. I've had a pretty chill day. It's been very, very hot over here. We're not really used to the heat.
Not used to the
Our
heat?
houses are like ovens. I've been in shorts and a wet t-shirt all day.
And Chili, you are muted, so I don't know if you're there or not.
I am here.
Okay. How are you doing tonight,
yeah.
Chili?
Tonight's fine. Earlier in the day was hell.
Hell is apparently 80 degrees.
It is here in England.
Thank you both for being here tonight. I really appreciate it. And I know many in our community know you guys, but there's always new listeners. So I wanted to ask you guys a few questions so people can get to know you a little bit. Paul, I first became aware of you when I started checking out Final Fantasy XIV podcasts and happened upon one called Whispering Dawn. And there you were described as a guest host, but we're on almost every damn episode I listen to. As far as I know, that was your first podcast experience, but I'm not sure. Was that your first podcasting experience, and how would you say you've grown from the time that you were on Whispering Dawn to now having recently celebrated 100 episodes of Moogle Go Round?
I now have balls, I guess. would be because Whispering Dawn was supposed to be an all-female podcast, and I didn't know I was a female then. But that's just a joke. I represent all people that want to change the sexes. It's fine.
Sure. And how would you
But,
say
you know-
you've grown since your days on Whispering Dawn to now? Just having balls?
I think it was more of I'm more knowledgeable than I was back then. So I still just didn't play as much. I still was a WoW nerd still. But now it's just I feel more open of just not having a set notes to play off and just be yourself.
Okay. And back then you were described as a guest host. So did you have much to do with the actual content creation and how that podcast was going to flow?
I actually did all the notes.
Oh,
for
did
them.
you?
So, that's what I was supposed to do. I was just a backup, but I'd just be in the background doing notes, getting guests to get on, and it was just that's what I was supposed to do. And in the end, I started being a guest host a lot more. And I was like, weird, but it was fun.
And now, just one of two hosts on Moogle Go Round, do you find yourself having to do even more than you did on Whispering Dawn?
Less,
Less. Jeez.
absolutely less. I do nothing. I turn up and talk and just like press the start button to stream.
You're just the talent now.
Yeah, it's quite nice actually.
And Chili, for you, I first heard you on, I believe, was probably Phoenix Down Radio is the first time I heard you. You have quite the background in podcasting, though. What was your first podcast, and what was it about?
PlayStation Derailed was my first podcast, and that was about 8 years ago now.
Wow.
I was a guest host on PSU's original podcast with Don, Mike. I think it was Don and Mike really at the time, but Don left the site, so they stopped the podcast. So I ended up taking over the reins and started up PlayStation Unchained, and I've been doing that for about 7 years. Unchained actually just reached the 100,000 download mark, so I'm happy about that.
Wow, congratulations.
Thank you.
In the 8 years that you've been doing it, what's been the biggest change for you?
I guess doing Moogle Go Around really, because it's a little bit different than PlayStation Unchained. Yeah, we do about the same. We do video game topics, but it's more of a community thing, because Unchained we just record and then upload. At least with Moogle Go Around we record on Twitch, so there's a different type of atmosphere. It's
Okay.
more friendly, and we chat with the community as we stream.
Awesome.
So
Both of you had a background in podcasting before you started doing a Moogle Go Round Radio. When did you guys meet, and what was it that you guys enjoyed about each other that made you want to do a podcast together?
That's a very good question. I think it was Sayo Mayo and Klaus from Phoenix Down. They were like, I know this other British guy because they know like there's a lot of drama in Whispering Dawn regarding me being a guest host and being a main host. It was absolute nightmare over there, and I wanted to do my own thing, kind of thing. Like I just wanted to do my own podcast, and then they were like, we know another British guy. That's what this was. What Klaus and Sarah Mayer said. Like, we know another British guy.
So you're
who
like,
does a podcast.
We don't know if you guys have anything in common, but you're both British, so.
Yeah, that was the thing. Is you're both British, and so let's see how it works. Do you want to contact him? And I was like, yeah, let's go, let's do it. Why not?
Is that how you remember it as well, Chili?
well, what happened for me that I remember is I started off as a guest for Phoenix Down Radio because one of the hosts wasn't making it every week, so I was like on when they needed me, and then I went from being on when I needed to being a guest but being permanent. But it was between Paul and me that was going to be on, from what I can tell. So they decided that it was going to be the original plan was it was going to be Phoenix Down 1 week, Moogle Go Around the other week. But then I ended up being a permanent host of Phoenix Down and Moogle Go Around. So for me, it was Phoenix Down Radio 1 week, Moogle Go Around also the next week. So that's what happened pretty much.
Okay. And So
Okay.
you had never known Paul before you started doing Moogle Go Round Radio. Is that right? Or maybe Paul Chili can't hear us. I don't know.
How's
No,
wrong with Discord?
I hear you. I think Chili's having a. Chili did sound very robotic for me when he was talking, so I don't know. Chili,
Well, hopefully, Chili can hear us again soon. Paul, I'll continue with you. It's one thing to enjoy a game. We all have games we really like playing. It's another thing to like a game so much that you want a podcast about it. When did you start playing Final Fantasy XIV, and what was it about 14 that impacted you enough to put the time and energy it takes to podcast about it?
I started playing Final Fantasy 2.0. I got it for like a birthday, and I had a few friends that played it from college, and I was still a big WoW person. I was doing PvP and raiding in WoW. And I was like, oh, I need something different. And then it's like, they got a bunch of different types of races in 14. Like they're trying to get me onto it, and I was like, okay. But you can be a cat girl, and I was like, but why though? Why? They're like, oh well, I've got these big, because I'm a big fan of having big women, because I played like a big orc, I played a big Tauren female over in WoW. I was like, oh, Rogadin, big women, they're awesome, and that kind of hit me on. And I was like, you know what? I played for a bit. I was like, this is actually pretty fun. White Mage was just fun. It was like my first class I leveled properly to the max.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, yeah, that's pretty good. And then Bard. Now, Bard is still, to this day, my favorite class in Final Fantasy XIV. I don't know why it is, but it just is.
Even during Heavensward?
Even through Heavensward, same with Machinist, like they were casters at the time. But it was still, I don't know, I still like the whole aspect of you're singing, you're supporting. I love support classes.
Mm-hmm.
Support classes are like my shit, basically. I've loved it. I was a support over in like League of Legends, where another game I play. I've always been the support person because I just like helping. And yeah, I needed more of that.
Awesome.
But to actually talk about content about it, I was like, you know what? Why not?
Yeah.
Why not?
Of course. I think there's definitely room for a lot of voices out there in the community. And Chili, are you able to hear us again now?
Yeah, I can. Discord, it popped up with an update and then it just crashed.
All right,
Jeez.
Chili. Same question for you. It's one thing to like a game. It's another thing to like it so much that you want a podcast about it. What was it about 14 that led you to want to start a podcast or be on a podcast?
I guess from when I was on Phoenix, I was watching a lot of Phoenix Down and a lot of other podcasts. And because of what I do for my work, I write reviews, and I don't know, I got really invested into the game, and so just listen to their enjoyment and like knowing that I could probably add something to it.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of what got me into doing it, really.
Excellent. And so, Chili? What are some of your favorite parts of the game? Do you prefer savage raiding, just running dungeons with friends, crafting and gathering? How do you enjoy spending your time in the game?
I feel like just running stuff with friends. But I also like to try and do crazy stuff solo once I've got better gear. Like I was doing some unsync stuff yesterday on stream, and I went into X-Death on my own as White Mage and tried to solo it. I also tried to solo one of the Alexander Savages. The first one? I actually got through Forced, and I got the second boss down to about 14%. So
I enjoy doing stuff like that as well. How about you, Paul? What's your part of 14 that you enjoy the most?
As in a whole, or just like recently of late?
You can say what you were into at first, what you're into now, how it's progressed and evolved.
I think at first it was the combat I was really into. It was like so much more different than like any other kind of MMO I played. And I was like, yeah, you know what, this is pretty good. And I just like But in a terms, I do just love raiding. The raids in this game, I have to say, Heaven's Ward raids were just I love that. That was my top peak of Final Fantasy was Heaven's Ward raiding.
And when you're talking rating, you are specifically Savage rating, correct?
Savage raiding, yeah.
Savage rating. Okay, and we're all in the same raid group, Paul, Chili, and myself. Paul, you've been Dark Knighting, but plan on switching to Bard, and now I know that Bard's your favorite job in the game of all time. Chili, you've been White Maging, but I know you have been running Monk in the past. Paul, how long do you usually stick to a job before you feel the need to change it up a little bit?
Ooh, that's a great question. I mean, it's kind of like what people want me to be. It's more the sense that every raid group I've been, they've always had like people want to change. I was like, I can feel, like how Durgan is right now. It's like I have all the classes max level. I can fill any job if you guys want to change.
So whatever's for the good of the group.
Yeah, it was just for the good of the group. Like I was a caster. Well, actually, no, I was a healer. Last expansion, I began as healing, and then I moved on to caster, and then somehow midway through I became a tank main, and I've been a tank main ever since. And I think now I just want to. I've never raided on Bard. Never. Like Bard is my favorite class, and I've never raided on it, just because there were so many other people that wanted to play ranged. And then Dancer came along, and I was like, well, I can't play ranged because people want to play Dancer. And I was like, you know what? I'll just stick to that tanking at this point.
Well, next year you're finally gonna get that shot to try out Bard and Savage raiding.
Oh, it's gonna be great! I can't wait.
And so it is like people are very different in this game. Some people like to change it up quite a bit. They get tired of jobs, and some people stick to one job their entire time in the game. Chili, I know you've been monking for a while. You're White Maging now. How does it go for you? Do you prefer to stick with one job, or do you like to change it up a little bit?
One job, to be honest. Yeah, I prefer one job, if I'm honest.
And what is your favorite job right now? Is it White Mage or Monk?
I'm enjoying White Mage a lot because of the damage and healing. I feel like I'm doing more than just I feel like I'm doing a lot more than I was with Monk, especially with my ping.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I'm doing a lot better.
OP Mage.
One more question before we move into the episode. Paul, why don't you go first? What are you most excited for patch 5.3?
Ooh, I'm gonna have to say it's a tough one, but I'm really looking forward to the relic kind of area, like
the southern ocean front.
Yeah, I just think that's good. I think that's just gonna be dope. Honestly,
I'm really excited for that as well. But that's coming in 5.35, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. Chili, what are you most excited for patch 5.3?
Dwarves.
Beast Tribe Quest. Did you level your crafter so you can do them, Chili?
I haven't even got it high enough yet. I'm sad.
They get on it, Chili. They get on it.
All right, Chili.
Yeah, I've only got today and tomorrow.
I heard you were very excited for this next part, Chili. It's time for everyone's favorite segment.
Greenleaf Minute.
It's the Greenleaf Minute. And this week there was a question about the free trial, since we had been talking about it being expanded to include Heaven's Ward. It was asked, what are the downsides of playing the trial opposed to buying the game? And I always knew there were some restrictions to the free trial, but I never really looked it up. I knew you couldn't start your own free company and stuff like that. So I'm going to go through each of these bullet points for the restrictions on the trials. And if you guys could chime in on what would be like a deal breaker for you, if you were just starting out in the game, which one of these restrictions would break you and have to pay the subscription to play the game in full? So the first restriction is you can only have a max of 8 total characters and a max of 1 per world/server. No deal breakers on that one. You're level capped. Currently at level 35, but starting Tuesday, it will be level 60. Would that be a deal breaker for you while you're leveling up? Knowing that you have to stop at 60, or would you just be okay with it. Do that until 60. Keep playing.
There's plenty of jobs to play to 60, so
Not a deal breaker. You won't be able to play further than Heaven's Ward. I think if you know that going into it, that's not a deal breaker. You cannot make in-game microtransactions, which is what I assume is the market board. So you can't buy or sell on the market board. No deal breakers so far, or is that a maybe from you, Paul?
I think that's kind of I think that's a deal breaker because I do like glam. I do like my characters to look good when I'm doing the story. And I don't think most of the dungeon gear are pretty lackluster.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah,
most of them are reskins.
if you cared that much, you'd level up your crafters with your free trial.
You're definitely able to do that.
True.
You are limited on how much gil you can have, and they don't reference it in the FAQ, but I've seen both 300 and 350,000 referenced, so it's about that range, the maximum gil you're able to have.
Call you on the free trial right now.
Hey, let's look in game right now. We've got 55k.
So that's not even an issue for you.
Yeah, it's not an issue for me. Money doesn't laugh for me.
You cannot use shout, yell, or tell in-game chat options. I feel like I rarely use any of those.
I do it to meme.
I mean, tell is important for me sometimes, for reasons, but...
Because you can't fly. That is your reason.
And
yeah, I also...
we already talked about the market board with the microtransactions. You cannot use the Mog letter service. So I guess with that, you wouldn't be able to like buy anything off the Mog station on the free trial. And you cannot hire a retainer character, so that hugely limits your inventory.
To be fair, I've boosted my character, then got to Shadowbringers on EU, and I still haven't got my retainer yet because I keep forgetting to go get one.
You can join a link shell if invited, but you can't create a new link shell. I don't feel like that's a huge deal. You cannot create or join a free company during the free trial. See, I had thought you were able to join a free company. I knew you couldn't create one, but apparently you can't even join one.
No, that's a bit of a deal breaker.
Yeah,
you can't really make new friends.
Yeah, unless you're going into the game wanting to play it as a single character game and then only using Duty Finder for everything, that's a deal breaker for most of the population, I would think.
Though you do still have the link shell option to chat if need be.
That is true. As long as you're invited to a link shell, you can use that to chat with people. You can only join a party if invited or by using the Duty Finder, but you cannot assemble a party. So basically limited to Duty Finder. Pain in the ass, but I think most of these were to like get rid of gil sellers, and it kind of just affects players on the free trial as well. I think they would let you do some of this if it wasn't a problem with gil sellers. And you cannot log into the Lodestone or any other game forum. Not a deal breaker for me. Don't know about you guys.
Oh no, not the forum. No.
And you cannot progress past floor 10 in the deep dungeon during the free trial.
Okay, that's a big deal breaker for me because I'm doing it solo like every day.
I don't.
My man got 160 last night, and I ran out of time.
I think that's changed.
Has it? Well, maybe it'll change on Tuesday. Like the FAQ hasn't been updated since like 2017.
I'll have to check that, but I think they changed that with the 5.3.
Oh well, if it comes with 5.3, I hadn't heard.
Anyway.
So yeah, that is I don't even know what the point of that one was, but apparently they're limiting to you.
And so you can't level up as easier.
Tris Marigold says you'll be able to go up to floor 200 on Tuesday.
Yeah. Really?
So they're,
okay.
Yeah.
They're unlocking.
The reason why you can't go past 10, floor 10 is because you could only get to 30 in the old free trial. Or is it 35? And that's about floor 10.
Okay.
So now that you can get to floor 60, now you can to level 60, you can actually go all the way because, you can actually get that high.
Okay, I did not
It's a,
catch that in the patch notes. Trish said it was in there.
Oh, time to cancel my subscription,
Thank you,
make a new
Trish.
account, free trial. That's all I need. That's all I want to do.
Oh,
That's all I've been doing.
imagine that though. Oh, I kind of want to do that now. I want to see because there's so many, so rare to have the title for beating it. Imagine seeing someone that's a completely new account technically.
Fucking free trial. It's like, I got a necromancer, motherfucking. I'll be done. I'll be like,
I've only been playing for 2 hours, but I've got the
They've
necromancer.
got the floor
title.
200. They've beaten Coil. They've beaten Alexander, Savage. So those are all the restrictions on the free trial. I think the major one is the not being able to join a free company for most people. But otherwise, if you're just looking to try out that game, or if you're just not a very social gamer and you prefer to try doing things solo, the free trial is an amazing option right now, I think.
Yeah.
All right. Even though Avi can't talk right now, we're going to get to her favorite segment. It's the tweet of the week. It is the tweet of the week. And this week it comes from William Riley, the old school gamer, says, "At She Heals I Tank, I'm looking forward to the Trusts. I'm not even in Stormblood, but every dungeon I've been in, everyone wants to rush, so I don't know the dungeon stories, and I love lore." I think that is amazing. That's tagging on what we were talking about last week with the Trusts. How do you guys feel about the Trust? Do you enjoy them?
better than Squadrons.
Much better than Squadrons, that's for sure.
I don't know. I think I prefer Squadrons.
Because you don't have to do it?
No, with the
Oh, yeah, I guess
My
there were a
issue with-
couple you could do as a squadron. I totally forgot about those. I just send my squadron out to get me shit.
yeah.
Um,
My main issue with the dungeons, well, with Trust, is the fact that because I'm running healer right now, I have to run ahead and target enemies before the tank will actually go grab them.
so you gotta get
I'm
like
sure
that
if you run,
initial hit
I'm sure
or
if you-
initial aggro.
yeah.
But I think it is great for wanting to explore a dungeon and take it at your own pace. Because when you're going in as anything other than tank, you're pretty much at the mercy of the speed that the tank wants to run. So this gives you the option if you want to just take your time and explore, read all the books in some of the dungeons, you get to do that. And the worst part, of course, is always leveling the trust. But you don't have to do that if you just want to go through for the first time.
Yeah.
All right, some news and notes from around the realm. Coinciding with patch 5.3, there will be changes made to the starter edition of Final Fantasy XIV. The starter edition will now include Heaven's Ward, so you'll be able to level to 60, choose Ah-Ra as a race, and once you open up Ishgard, you'll be able to play Dark Knight, Astrologian, and Machinist. And if you've already bought and are still playing on the starter edition, have no fear. The change is retroactive. You'll automatically have access to Heaven's Ward. You don't have to do anything. And I think that's what some people were scared about who had bought the starter edition, but you're automatically going to be upgraded. So good on Square Enix for doing that. And the patch 5.3 special site has been updated. I think we're going to get into most of the info from that when we talk about the show notes that we're going to get into. I mean, the prelim notes that we're going to get into soon. So we're not going to go over that. We'll do it in the patch notes. And plan accordingly for patch 5.3. There will be a 24-hour maintenance for it. So that means the servers are going to go down on Monday, August 10th at 3 a.m. Pacific. And they will come back up Tuesday the 11th at 3 a.m. Pacific. So a whole day for maintenance. The long one. But they're adding a lot. Of course, the first thing we get in the prelim patch notes is a new MSQ. You'll be able to continue this by talking to the manager of the suites and picking up the quest in the Name of the Light. And that is where your apartment is in the Crystarium, the Pendants. If this quest isn't available to you and you've done all the MSQ in patch 5.2, then you might not have done what are 2 new mandatory quests to enable you to proceed with patch 5.3 MSQ. You need to have done My Little Chocobo, which gives you your Chocobo, as well as the Light of Hope, which is the Crystal Tower quest. You'll have to go back and do those if you haven't yet in order to progress the MSQ in patch 5.3. What do you guys think about that change?
I think it's fine.
I think it's fine. I just know I'm gonna see some posts on like Tuesday afternoon or Tuesday morning being like, I have to go back and do Crystal Tower. I just wanted to complete the patch 5.3 MSQ. And I'm gonna laugh at those actually.
I'm actually looking like for myself. I'm like, have I completed it?
Well, do you
I
ever
think
get
I've already completed it.
Do you ever get Labyrinth of the Ancients when you do, or World of Darkness when you do Alliance Roulette?
Yeah.
Then I would imagine you've done it.
Okay.
Or if
So
you
now,
if you haven't, you probably just have like one more quest to turn in.
yeah, that's what I'm thinking. But I'm just like, I may have already done it.
Chili, have you done that on your NA character on Gilgamesh?
Yes, I have done the Crystal Tower stuff.
And so there's 12 new quests in the MSQ, which I feel is on the high end. I feel like we haven't got that many recently.
Well, he said that it's equivalent to like a movie, so
Mm-hmm. So
the amount of cutscenes.
yeah, he also said it took him like 7 hours to vet everything to make sure everything was okay. So probably takes a lot longer to vet, but he did say like a full feature-length movie long of content in the MSQ. The MSQ is also going to unlock the dungeon Heroes Gauntlet, and the eye level requirement for it will be 460. This dungeon will go into the Expert Roulette, and with that, the Grand Cosmos will be removed from Expert Roulette.
Yay!
So we're only going to have 2 dungeons in Expert. Chili likes that, apparently. I'm not 100% in the same boat. I kind of wish there were 3 in Expert Roulette, because even though I'm kind of tired of the Grand Cosmos, I'd still like to have the chance of 3, because I don't know, Andire's probably going to be the next Grand Cosmos. We're probably going to get that one all the time now, and I'd just rather have 1 out of 3 chance of getting something instead of half.
You know that with this game, 1 of 3 chances will still just be Grand Cosmos.
What about?
I always feel like when a patch first hits, you do get the new dungeon quite a bit, and then like as time goes on, people who actually need the first dungeon are greater, and so you just end up getting that one most of the time. But I still wish there were 3. For all I care, like they could put all of the post level 80 dungeons into Expert. How many are we getting now? Like 6? 5? We're only getting 1 per patch now, so if we have 5.5, that's only like 5 extra ones, right? Put them all into Expert.
I think so, yeah. I think it's because of the gear, because the newer dungeons gives higher level item gear than the older ones. So it's to make sure that you keep getting geared up with Expert.
I mean, it's like, you know, Expert, you get about, was it 90 Allegory? And then you can do like, say, 80, you get a lot more Phantasmagoria, but you also get some Allegory. It's kind of to spread it out so you don't have to keep doing Expert to cap, really. Gives you something else to do.
Yeah, I get it. I see there's some downsides to putting them all in Expert. Maybe 3 and 3. Let it get up to 3 and then start replacing 1 at a time. That's what my solution would be anyway. And 24-man raid. We're getting the next part in patch 5.3, part of the Yorha Dark Apocalypse series. The collab with Nier Automata. This part's going to be called the Puppets Bunker. You'll be able to continue with this quest series to unlock the raid by talking to the dig site chief in Calusia and getting the quest We Can Rebuild Her. You will have to head complete the quest. One way to do it, to pick up the quest, and you'll get a Puppets coin as a reward at the end of the raid. The Puppets coin can be exchanged with Fathard in Yulmore for items used to enhance equipment purchased with Allagan Tomestones of Allegory. You'll need to turn in a manufactured coin from Copied Factory as well for the item. And of course, drops from the raid. You'll be limited to 1 per week. You guys hyped for the new Nier raid, Puppets Bunker?
I mean, that name though, Fat Hard, sounds like a porno like name.
I feel like I copied and pasted that part, but maybe I misspelled it. But I'm pretty sure it's Fat Hard.
His name is Fat Hard, if I'm rightly.
Okay.
Fat Hard.
Turn in your coins to Fat Hard and Yulmore. So yeah, you guys excited?
Unleash your sack.
Puppets Bunker. You like the near themed raids?
I think they're better than most of the 24-man raids we're getting. Honestly, these are probably the best ones.
I enjoy that it just feels different than what we usually get.
Yeah.
It's futuristic. It's machines. It's pretty cool. Again, I'm a big Alex fan, and Alex was just a bunch of machines and goblins. So I'm still waiting for when we walk into the room and there's just a bunch of robots trying to fuck each other. That's what I'm waiting for. That's what I'm waiting for.
I want the Romeo and Juliet scene.
Yeah, I'm ready for Yoko Taro's personality to come out a little more, and we get some really weird stuff going on in the 24-man raid. I'd be excited for that.
Well, one of the talks from the interview said that Yoko Taro said the fight was a bit too easy, and he wished there was a button you could click that would just kill everyone in the raid.
With the little preview that we got in the live letter when Yoshida was going through Puppet's Bunker, he got to the first boss, and he does this little thing. He throws a couple spells at it or whatever, but it knocked him off the edge. And I don't think we've had like lower level content be able to knock you off the edge, and I don't know how long.
I mean,
Thunder God did it?
Yeah, and
Did it?
No,
No, you could fall off the edge in Ozma.
Okay.
But I don't think you'd fall off the edge on Thunder God.
I can't remember. I know Ozma you could. I couldn't remember if you Thunder God.
No, not for Thunder God. You can't fall off now.
Okay.
There are railings.
So
it looks like a kind of mix between like Thunder God, like 2.0, and Ozma 2.0 just mix into one. Like they just did like a fusion, like the fusion dance, and now they're just one. It's like one robot mess.
But I'm all for them making these a little more difficult.
By the way, someone in the chat said one of the closed captions, Cashew Nut said, the closed caption made it said we sounded like we said Puppy's Bunker.
Puppy's Bunker. It's the fluffiest bunker around.
That'd be the best bunker, like in this like kind of day and age right now. I think that's like the best way to go.
I too want to raid in Puppy's Bunker.
Yeah.
And I think it's awesome that we're finally getting the items to upgrade our tome gear by turning in coins from both of the 24-man raids. Been stuck as a tank when we raid. You're kind of like the last on the totem pole for getting your upgrade items from raiding. So now that we're able to buy them, that'll be really good. Excited for that. How about you, Paul?
I'm almost maxed, but yeah.
Oh, you probably need them for your bard.
Oh yeah, definitely for my bard. That's what most of my stuff's going towards now. Is just my bard.
And it's always nice if you already have one character maxed out, an easier way for you to gear up your secondary job, one that you just fill in for raids on occasion.
Well, unless you're, a certain red mage called Crow, but
just wins everything.
He just wins everything.
Did I roll an oil? I don't think I rolled on it, but it's in my inventory. That's Crow.
And are you guys excited for Sorrow of Wyrlet, Sapphire Weapon?
Yes and no.
So
I am really excited to try it out, but I'm worried because it's an instance we won't be able to do it again.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you.
Plus, but,
what's your opinion on it being a solo instance opposed to a group trial?
I know. That's it looks cool because we get to be in a mech. But I actually really enjoyed the Ruby Weapon fight.
Ruby Weapon was fun, and I have the same opinion as Chili. It's disappointing that we won't be able to run it over and over again, most likely until it's added to New Game Plus. And I don't know. If they make it as good as what I thought the first step of the Relic was, if it's that good story-wise, I think it's going to be okay. And I'll just wait until New Game Plus if I want to relive that story. But it's got to have a really good story for me to give up not having a repeatable trial again.
Especially a Sapphire weapon was a pain in the original 7. It was a pain fight. You had to get a specific materia that actually had no benefits in the fight except the Sapphire weapon. You had to go into an area which the game didn't tell you to go to manipulate an item the game never told you to do, to get an item that was a rare chance to get, to go to a place that wasn't even marked on the map, to get an underwater materia which removed the timer. Otherwise, there was a short timer that you had to actually beat it, which was basically impossible unless you cheated.
So do you think they're going to make it just as difficult, Chili?
No, they're not going to make it as difficult.
There's been like 2 quests in this game where they've done it where it's not marked in the map, and I enjoyed them a lot. They should do that more. But you'll be able to continue the Sorrow of Wurlet, start the Sapphire weapon quest by heading on over to the locks and talking to the Resistance officer, picking up the quest Sleep Now in Sapphire. Don't know if that was a play on a Rage Against the Machine song, Sleep Now in the Fire. You'll have to have completed Ruby Doomsday to be able to accept the new quest. And thank you, Talon Broadbent, for subbing for 5 months. Thank you so much, my friend. And the weekly restriction on the following Chronicles of New Era quests have been removed. The Gift of the Archmagus, Primal Focus, Unidentified Flying Object. Do you guys even remember what those were?
The weapon fight in the 24-man raid. The one for doing the 3 primals and the 3 crystal towers one?
Damn, Chili. You actually knew that? I had to look it up. That is correct. The Gift of the Archmagus was for doing the Crystal Tower series, all 3 of the 24-man raids. Primal Focus was for like 3 primals. I don't even remember which ones. And
If Garuda Titan.
Okay. And what was Unidentified Flying Object?
The Ultima weapon in the Proto one. You know what we did in FanFest, but they added to the 24-man raid.
That's right. So yeah,
but
that disappointment.
By the way, if nobody in the raid actually picks up the quest, the original boss actually still spawns and drops the Paladin sword still.
I want that fucking sword.
Is that the blood sword?
Yeah.
I've got that sword.
You can buy it from the You can buy it with Gold Saucer.
Oh, can you? Okay, well, fuck that. I'm gonna go to Gold Saucer.
Get that MGP,
Dunske,
baby.
that's right, Triss. Triss is right, Dunske.
Dunske.
Dunske. See, I like Chili knows like so much about this. I instantly it's still there. He works for Square Enix. He like he can get up his phone. He can be like, he's like got his contact list. Like he's like, you know, there's my sister, there's my cousin, there's Yoshi P. You know, that's how he gets all his inside. You know, he just
probably has some like cool nickname for Yoshi P too.
The P-Star, the Yoshi Man.
Yoshi P is calling him for suggestions.
You know, and he's like,
well, you know, if White Mage gets buffed,
White Mage gets buffed. There is no more Paul on MGR. There is no more Paul. He's gonna be wiped off the face of the planet. It's gonna be like Thanos snapped his finger, and I'm gonna be gone. I'm gonna change my name in real life. Like
Yoshi P called him up. Should we really get rid of the weekly restriction on Gift of the Archmagus? So he's like, hell yeah, get rid of that shit.
Then Yoshi P asked me what it was because he couldn't remember.
Yeah, he's like, I don't really know what this is, but apparently people want it more than once a week.
Some old content, Yoshi P. It's fine. Oh, okay, thanks.
Yeah, he got some weapons from one of. I can't remember exactly the gift. I think that was.
I think it was just upgrade items. Like they let you get upgrade your tome items.
Yeah,
no, it was materia you got. I'm sure you got materia from it.
No, because it was the it was just to get like the twine or something like that. You could pick one of each. It was like, oh, do you want the twine? Do you want?
I'm sure the Archmagus was for the twine, the upgrade items. I think Unidentified Flying Object was for like the prototype shielding And I forget what you turned
And
that
then
in for.
It was
turned that
a
in other stuff.
accessory or a chess piece. It was an accessory or a
Yeah.
chess piece.
I don't
Just
remember
like-
what we got from the primal one.
That's the
Weapons.
weapon,
It was
right?
like
Yeah,
really
weapons.
really ugly looking weapons.
Because I'm
I
pretty sure I
mean,
did
monk ones are
gifted the Archmagus a few times. I never did any of the other ones.
I did the primal one on EU Baxton recently, so that's how come I remember that.
By accident. How'd I get here?
Ah, shit.
Well, no,
got a fancy weapon.
I picked up the quest, right? Like, because I'd, bought, upgraded this account with the boost a long time ago. And obviously, I'd picked up the quest, and when I restarted today recently with getting through Stormblood again, I did some of the old trials just to get them done. And it's like, you've done a quest. I'm like, okay.
Cashew
What's
the
that
Nut
do?
is asking, are there any new items coming to the Gold Saucer? Did you guys see anything about that in the patch notes?
Don't believe I did know.
I'm gonna go with not yet.
Yeah, I think we're going to get some eventually because of the new yokai stuff.
And to make it rain, maybe.
Well, Make It Rain is probably gonna add some new stuff.
Yeah.
But I didn't see anything specific as for patch 5.3. But I'm right there with you, Cashew. I definitely want some more stuff to buy with MGP because I just broke 4 million MGP this week, and I don't even do like Gold Saucer that often. Like I haven't done the fashion report for real in months.
I haven't done it in
Probably
months.
years.
I think I think I did it a couple of weeks ago because someone gave the items out. But normally I'm too cheap and lazy to actually do it.
I did it one time on stream and got the title, never fucking did it again. I just did
I
it
don't think
once
I
and
even
was
had
like,
the
"Oh, look,
title.
I got the title. Oh, yay. I was like, oh yeah, this was fun, and then never did it again. I was like,
I got like the good score to get the title like 1 week before they announced that they were nerfing it. And I'm like, really? I just could have waited.
damn,
Yeah, I
Chili's-
got that on my main.
All right,
Yeah,
how
man.
about some crafting content? Have either of you done custom deliveries before?
Yes.
What's your opinion on the
Yes.
custom deliveries? You like them?
I enjoyed them.
I love 'em a
liked
lot.
Getting the titles. Yeah.
I like
Titles
them a
are fun.
lot.
I've only
They're one of the best ways to level your crafters as well, or just get scripts. Really, I should say. What
Yeah,
about you,
get straight-
Chili?
yeah.
I've only ever done it like one. I've only done the Zoe stuff. I've never actually unlocked any of the other custom deliveries.
Yeah, really good for scripts, and then like if you're level 60, do whatever the level 60 custom deliveries is. Those give a lot of XP as well. But there is new custom deliveries coming in patch 5.3. You're going to need to head to the Firmament and talk to the Dragonette L2. And the quest is called Oh Crafter, My Crafter. The prereqs are the quest If Songs Had Wings and Go West Craftsman. Lately, the custom delivery NPCs, one of the features was you could redress them once you max them out. But I don't know if they're going to let us redress a dragon. But the dragon does look pretty damn cute. And going back to Fashion Report, Triss says you throw on amateur slops that cost 300 gil and you get 60,000 MGP this week. That's crazy.
Hell, I didn't even know the Fashion Report started. That's how rare I remember.
They also ask, is new custom delivery has a side quest requirement that is to finish the Vath Beast Tribes to max? Is that what the requirement was? I didn't know.
Hey, fuck you guys. I did that. That was my first ever one, and that was my favorite one. The Vath were OP. They had that good shit. They was Snoop Dogg in it up.
Yes. The Vath love their drugs. That's why the Vath are the best beast tribe out there.
I guess I'll go do that.
And they do look fucking awesome too.
Their armor was great. Their mount was awesome.
Yeah, beast tribes I think are an underappreciated part of this game. I like them a lot, and they just give so much to it. They give lore, they give world building, and they give great gear too. Mounts, minions, glamour gear. They got a little bit of everything. The Triss says, go West Craftsman side quest. You need to finish Vath. Well, there you go. Gotta finish the VAP. Go do it. Get that ditchweed they're selling. One of the new exciting things we're getting in patch 5.3 is the faux hollows. You'll be able to unlock this by heading into Idleshire and talk to the painfully Ishgardian man and picking up the quest Fantastic Mr. Fox or Foe. The prereqs are the MSQ quest Shadowbringers and the quest Keeping Up with the Alia pose. We finally get some information on what the faux hollows actually is. We're going to be able to do it once per week. Players may speak to a faux commander after completing an Unreal trial to gain access to the faux hollows. It shares the same Tuesday reset as everything else. The object of faux hollows is to reveal the illustrations hidden beneath one or more panels. Only 11 panels can be turned in total while playing. Successfully uncover illustrations to earn faux leaves, which can be exchanged for various rewards. The amount of faux leaves awarded differs depending on the size and nature of the illustration uncovered. So basically in the picture, what this looked like was, I think you have like that memory game where the tiles are turned over so you can't see any, and then you kind of flip them over and you try to match them. Kind of looks like that. But
Wasn't that a Valentine thing? Wasn't that a Valentine
yeah,
thing?
that is kind of what the Valentine's Day theme was too. So it's like a board of tiles that you can't see, and it looks like you get 11. Is that what I just read? You can turn over 11, and you're trying to uncover illustrations that are underneath there, and uncovering a large illustration grants a retelling. And with that reward, it's possible to complete an Unreal trial and access faux hollows once more before a week has passed, making it a viable alternative to solely aiming for illustrations that grant a higher number of faux leaves. So from the little picture we got that I've been able to grasp, the larger illustration will grant you that extra chance, and the smaller illustrations that give you more faux leaves aren't there as often. It seems like it said there was less chance of that happening. Is that how you read it too?
Yeah, it looked like the smaller one has a rare chance, the medium has like a small chance, and then the large one is almost always there.
Hopefully
the large one is always there.
I'm hoping that the large one is only there, so at least you get one more opportunity if you get shut out.
Yeah. And by the way, it's like battleships.
Yeah, I guess that would be a good analogy for it. You sunk my battleship.
I don't like it as you can only do it once a week. That's what I don't like, because I already do that with Savage. We can only do it once a week.
Yeah, it would be kind of nice. Well, I guess it all depends on the difficulty, right?
Especially with the eye level cap, it's eye level 435.
Is it?
Yeah.
So it's gonna sink you down to eye level 435?
Yeah.
Now I don't want to do it, Chili. It's making me not want to do it even more on Tuesday. This is making me just.
So
I don't know. Turn off my PC for the whole day to say it's broken.
I'd have to go back and look at what the eye level was at the end of Shadowbringers. What was the eye level? Because that makes sense if they're like if they're sinking it down to that eye level, that makes sense. I kind of think this isn't going to be too hard, but I want it to be like a little bit harder than most of the extreme trials, because then it feels
between Savage and Extreme.
That's what I'm hoping for. I'm always a little weary of their testing. I feel like the development team doesn't give the community enough credit at finding out the best ways to do stuff. Because I feel like we always find the easiest way to do stuff, whether it's Eureka or just mechanics that they didn't expect us to come up with inventive ways of clearing those mechanics. So I'm curious what this is actually going to be skill-wise, difficulty-wise. And that's for the Unreal Trials. In case it wasn't clear, you do the Unreal Trials, and once you do that, you get the ability to do the Faux Hollows, which is the game where you're turning over the tiles. The currency that you win is called Faux Leaves. Those can be exchanged with the Faux Commander in Idleshire for rewards only obtainable via Faux Hollows, so this is going to be the only way to get these rewards. And they previewed a Kate Sith and neckerchief. They really like their neckerchiefs. That's like been the main reward for the Moogle tomes for the last couple times.
Honestly, like,
Well, I
you're
guess it's
currently
because-
wearing it.
I don't know. All I can see on my screen is his crotch. So.
I mean, I was talking about last night. I was fucking feet pics. I mean, Chili, Chili could only see feet pics of TOS Shiba. I was like, what the hell? Chili's he is a small man. IRL too.
And
I am pretty small in real life.
for the podcast listeners, they are referencing. I told you at the beginning that Avi is drawing on stream since she can't talk. Is that the tier 2 emote for Moogle Go Around Radio? You don't know, maybe. They're doing the Lala in the Play Dead emote. Head down, ass up.
I mean, that's the thing. That Chili constantly does that though.
The little booty
That's like
crack.
his like number one thing.
Yeah, I like the little booty crack.
Chili is thick as fuck. Like Jesus. I like the blue hair too. It kind of gets Chili because like Chili loves Dragon Ball Z, and having the blue hair. I just say Chili going Super Saiyan God, and he's just got his ass up.
Yes.
He's like, you got a kid with the blue hair.
Yeah, Phoenix. Because you got Phoenix is actually the first person we ever had for a tier 2 sub. So I wanted to get an emote done to celebrate, and Arby is amazing. So Arby's doing it. Thank you again, Arby.
It made it made me fat hard. It really did. Seeing that made me fat hard.
And Phoenix says, looks dope, Avi, and just donated 100 biddies. And Avi was giving the heart symbol on screen, guys. All right. Didn't we already talk about this? Beast Tribe in patch 5.3 is the dwarfs. Oh, Chili said you were really excited for this, right?
Yeah.
You'll be able to start talking to the affable Towns Dwarf in Calusia to pick up the quest. It's Dwarfin' time. And the prereq is the request, Run It to the rescue. This, of course, is a crafting beast tribe, as we have discussed in the past. All necessary materials will be provided to crafters with every quest. The required recipes can be found under Special Recipes tab in the crafting log. The currency is being called Hammered Fragments, and you'll be able to spend them at the vendor that will unlock once you complete the quest. It's Dwarfin' time.
It's Dwarfin' time.
Paul, do you have your crafters leveled?
I have my not an NA though, but on EU I've got a couple. Not a lot, because I was like, I'm gonna leave them there because I can use that to level them up. It's like how you do with Moogles and stuff. So.
Yes.
And the catfish people. The Namazus, that was it. The Namazus. I couldn't think of them for a second.
Yeah, Namazu. Yeah, I agree. Totally agree. If you kind of just like want to, I mean, they made leveling your crafters really easy with Ishgardian Restoration, but if you didn't like doing that and you prefer something a little more immersive, I would say the Beast Tribe is a good option for that. You get a lot of XP for doing those Beast Tribe quests. I wish they would have gone the Namazu route and done it a mix between crafting and gathering and given us one more battle Beast Tribe quest instead. But
their view is the fact that there is multiple ways to level up with DPS already. So they kind of thought, well, might as well just split it up to DPS, Crafter, and Gatherer. So that each one has their own way.
But also, they already have that with levies.
Yeah, they have leaves and they have Ishgardian Restoration. Because Abby did Ishgardian Restoration on a day that she didn't have much work. And she got like multiple jobs to level 80. It was ridiculous. She was getting like over 4 million XP per turn in. That took her so quickly to do each turn in.
And with the new diadem as well, gathering so much more easy with the new diadem. You can
Yeah.
also level up through the new diadem as well, and that gives you so much as well when it just comes to pure XP. And you can use those items to do crafting at the foundation stuff. So it's like, why do we need another Beast Tribe?
The thing is, I feel like the only way we can judge this properly is once we get to the relic stage, and we start talking about the relic in a bit.
I'm interested to see how you're going to tie this into the relic, but we'll see.
Then you've also- But doesn't there's only 3 gatherers, and
Yeah.
fishing. You have the fishing thing, where you get a lot of XP from. You have diadem. You have now before you had now you got a beast tribe. Like, and you have the foundation. Like, you don't really need that much.
I
You got
100% agree with you.
Like, I would like to have another battle class because we don't have the Palace of the Dead, but I know what she's trying to tie in
Yeah.
with that. So when we get there, we'll talk about that a little bit. Yeah.
All right. Well, the only thing new to report on the A Realm Reborn revamp is that if you're currently going through the MSQ, then you might get a notification telling you to abandon your quest and then where to go to pick up your new one. So if you're in the middle of a quest that they decided to get rid of or something, you're going to have to abandon it and then go wherever the game tells you to pick up the new one. And thank you so much for that Twitch Prime sub, Cashew the Nut. Flying in A Realm Reborn will be unlocked after completing the main scenario, the Ultimate Weapon. If you didn't log out in any of the A Realm Reborn areas, you'll be able to fly when you go in there next time. If you logged out in one of the zones, you'll have to leave and then come back in before you can fly. For some reason, I don't understand.
I guess maybe it's a different instance, so I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see.
All I know is that now I know to log out in the 2.0 zone, so I can never learn how to fly.
Don't, Pete. Why did you do it to? Why?
I shall never leave
Never leave
Western
the ground.
Fanaland.
How are you going to do the MSQ?
He won't.
I won't.
How would he do any of the new content? Oh, well, he won't. He can't unlock it.
Camp Drybone is going to be my new home. I'm going to go find the little Lalafell that is sleeping and dreaming of Rawbon, and we can stay there together.
You going to be the new altar boy replacing Sid? With the revamp of A Realm Reborn, it's being New Game Plus is being added, or new options to New Game Plus is being added. It looks like this won't come until patch 5.35 though. In addition to MSQ class quest, Disciple of Hand and Land quests are also going to be added. So class quest and Disciple of Hand and Land quest, you're going to be able to replay those. So if you skip some of the cutscenes, you're going to be able to go back and check them out. So basically, if you're like me and skipped a lot of the cutscenes for the jobs or the classes, you're going to be able to go back because I might appreciate them now.
I actually enjoy some of the actual the actual class quests. Like, some of their stories are really good. I don't know. A lot of people probably watch the Dark Knight one because the Dark Knight one was really good. But then my favorite is the blacksmith one. Like, don't ask me why, but the blacksmith one got me because you're basically a blacksmith for a pompous ass wannabe knight, and it's great.
What about culinary? Wait, you give someone a literal food orgasm.
See, those you miss. They're great.
So the blacksmith and the culinarian are going to be there. I don't think that the Dark Knight one is going to be there because they only listed a Marauder and what did Paladin start out as?
Class ones, though.
Gladiator.
They listed jobs though, didn't they, as well?
I only saw classes.
Yeah, but it is New Game Plus, and New Game Plus, we haven't actually got up to Heaven's Ward yet,
So I think it's only the classes and not the jobs.
I'm going to go double check because I'm sure I saw jobs.
All right, you do that, and we're going to go on to the very exciting topic of subaquatic voyages. Minor changes in this. Submersible rank has been increased from 70 to 75. New destinations have been added. A wider selection of items can be obtained from voyages. And a warning message will be displayed when closing the voyage display panel if certain submersible parts require repair. Very, very important. I wish Avi had a voice because she actually sent out submarines for the very first time this week. she didn't seem too impressed by it.
You're right. Yeah, you're right. Only class.
It's not very impressive, to be fair. I don't. I didn't think we was actually doing it, because I know in the workshop a lot of people were like, I might have a look at I might have a look at some submarine stuff, and I'm just like, shit, people do that.
Yeah, we hadn't sent them out in a really long time, and then I think Avi's been making like all these little glamour rooms in the FC basement for people to take
Which is
screenshots.
awesome.
And
They are
I
very
think she
awesome.
wanted to get some stuff or make some stuff, and that she needed items from the subaquatic voyages. That's how you get Avi to craft and do subaquatic voyages. Make glamour items that you need for screenshots from them.
I mean,
You
like,
get some cool minions, don't you, as well?
I think you do.
and one mount that you got like ages ago,
Yeah.
but that's
They
from
take
Airship.
so long to send out and come back, though. I just don't have the time. I don't have the want, really. But in addition to that, furnishings from the Final Fantasy XIV Furnishing Design Contest have been added along with other furnishings.
Cool.
Viera and Rothgar mannequins will be available.
Okay.
How mad do you
Okay.
think people would be if they added both the genders of the mannequin?
I had to start a war. That's a
Do it, Square
Horrible.
Enix.
New
Do it.
orchestrion rolls, a new aquarium fish, new seed for flower pots, new seeds for gardening. For the gardening one, we're going to be able to grow Allegan melons. I don't know how a melon
I
is
like me some good
Allegan.
melons.
like how would that taste? Because like most like the Allegans are just made like mostly melon and stuff.
Yeah,
No,
it tastes like
I
tin.
wonder how that tastes. Yeah. Does it taste of tin?
No word on what the Allegan melons would be used for. Some changes to.
Well,
Oh, go ahead.
do you think because they showed off a melon minion?
Oh, that's true. I forgot about
But
that.
isn't that for like the summer event though? 'Cause it's like
No,
summer-
it's not.
No. Okay.
No.
Okay.
So we're gonna need to grow the Allegan melons, maybe crossbreed with something to make the Allegan or whatever the minion is called.
Like
Wonder-
the King Mandigores.
Yeah. Some changes to Wondrous Tales are coming in patch 5.3. You'll now be able to earn experience from doing these on Disciple of War and Magic jobs, excluding limited jobs like Blue Mage. Prices are also being updated. I think this is a good change. Incentivize people a little bit more to do Wondrous Tales. I've actually
think they
been getting into Wondrous Tales again for like the last couple weeks. I've done it.
I should really do it, but I'm just like, Palace of the Dead is just way more fun.
I got like a Thancred minion I had never had. I don't even like Thancred, but I do like collecting minions.
I got the Omega minion this week, so
I thought we got the Omega
Yeah.
minion from like MSQ.
Yeah.
no Omega M.
Oh,
Oh.
okay. The
Yeah.
the male and female versions. Okay.
I haven't got the female, I just got the men. No.
And
Uh-huh.
new emotes. The one they featured was a little dance that looked like that Russian dance where you're kicking your legs out as you squat down. Had a couple of
Oh.
Lalas doing it that looked very cute. The Lala hop.
Yes.
Lolly hop.
Hop.
An experience bonus will be granted when completing dungeons for the first time. Bonus will not be granted for dungeons with a level cap of 50, 60, 70, or 80. So is that did I read this right where it's going to be just for like the leveling dungeons then?
Yeah. Just for leveling dungeons.
Moving on. Here's one that I've seen memed all over the place about how casual the game is getting, which I don't totally agree with. Attacks by the coin counter in Aram Vale will now have action indicators. Any strong thoughts from you guys on that?
Wasn't even the hard boss.
So many thoughts of how casual this game is getting. This is getting way too casual. Is that kind of like it taught you of like, oh, there's gonna be fights that won't have indications. It kind of gets you ready for Savage. You're like, Savage doesn't have like many indications. Looking at
I mean,
Shiva.
I mean, to be fair, Auron Vale isn't exactly the type of dungeon that's supposed to really get you ready for Savage, because of the fact that you got another 30 levels before Savage.
No, you don't.
I mean,
Auron Vale's 50.
Yeah.
and Coil, which was the equivalent of Savage, was
True.
there.
And Coil had Savage. Well,
Yeah, but most Coil had markers.
That's the thing. There's even in Savage and the extreme fights, there's not too many things that are only like sight based off like the movement of the boss. Still, most everything is done by indicators, but there are some instances of it. You have to tell what shape the boss is making or whatever, raising its hand or whatever, how many orbs are above a boss's head. So there is some sight recognition skills for that. I don't think this is really necessary by any means. I still think the first room of Auron Vale was more of a problem than the coin counter boss.
And as Wizard said, Auron Vale is 47 to 49, so...
Yeah. All of the dungeons from Sastasha to Auron Vale will now always drop a weapon or piece of armor for the job you are on upon completion.
I thought we already did that.
I think this is dropping to your inventory directly.
Okay.
So you're not going to have to win any rolls. So it's probably going to cut down on the amount of time you have to run stuff, which I think is nice because at this point in the game, we're leveling so fast that we're not always staying geared up. And I know this from personal experience. I'll be like leveling so quickly and then I'll look at my gear and be like, holy shit, I'm way under geared now. And it's only been a week. You'll be able to turn in 99 Hades totems for the Shadow Gwyber trumpet now. So that's the mount for Hades. Restrictions on Edenverse have been removed. Crafted item level 480 will be able to be exchanged for item level 490 equipment. The vendor for this is Hillison in Yulmore. You'll buy items with your tombstones of Phantasmagoria. So these are all just kind of little miscellaneous stuff. And there really was a lot more that we're going to have to discuss in further episodes. Trying just to hit the big stuff today. Sundry Splendors are being added to the city-states. They will be one-stop shops for gear and items purchased in exchange for elegant tombstones and scripts. To access the ones in Limsa, Gridania, and Ul'dah, you'll need to have completed the quest The Ultimate Weapon. And to use the one in Ishgard, you need to have completed the MSQ Heaven's Ward. And to use Kugani, you have to completed the MSQ Stormblood. So I think we can skip the rest of the couple small changes I had listed on here. Because, Chili, I want to know what you wanted to talk about with the relic weapon and how it's going to tie in to the Beast Tribe.
Well, no, I'm talking about how the fact that you can enter the relic at 71 and you actually gain XP from the Eureka style zone, unlike before. So you can actually use it as a viable XP option. It's kind of replaced the Palace of the Dead this tier.
Were we not able to do that in Eureka?
No, you didn't get XP.
For some reason I thought we did.
Yeah, I thought we did too, but I've been leveling on a different character and I haven't been getting any XP. So
even with the challenge log?
Yep.
The challenge log only affects the Eureka XP. So
yeah, I guess it will remain to be seen then. If we level really quickly with jobs in the southern front of Bozja, that'll be pretty interesting. And then I'd be willing to forgive them for not giving us a second battle and war or battle and magic job in Beast Tribe Quest.
It's just, I don't know why we need the gathering one.
They've made it so easy. Even the crafters. I know there's more crafters than gatherers, but just seeing Avi go through it this week, I'm like, holy crap! They made that so easy. So easy.
I know
Avi
at
could
one
do
point
it.
there was plans for a shepherd as a gatherer class.
I'd be down for that. Like hell yeah! I'm just out here with my flock of sheep.
Yeah,
My
it was
bee.
in the files for 1.0 that one of the gathering classes was going to be Shepherd, but of
Yeah,
course it got dropped.
I'm just fighting off the Welsh because they're trying to shag my sheep. And yeah, it'd be great. Start shaving my sheep, get the wool, send it to the leatherers. That'd be great.
The problem they always claim for adding a new gatherer or a crafter is it affects so much other stuff. Like if you make a gatherer, you have to make all these new crafting recipes for those gathering pieces to be used for, and vice versa. If you make a new gatherer, you're gonna have to like make new gathered items. So I don't know if we're ever going to see a new crafter or gatherer. Got any insight on that, Chili? Have your bosses told you what's coming?
Uh,
Agent Chili.
I can't say anything.
Chili's
I
like
don't know anything.
head agent
I don't work for Square. Okay.
of England's Square
By
Enix
the way,
UK.
we were talking about the Fox trials earlier. I do want to apologize for accidentally saying we did a Moogle go around before 5.3 patch notes came out, and I accidentally said Fox trials, and then the NPC was turned out to be a fox. Again, this was an accidental save by me.
Did you get hundreds of emails claiming spoilers?
Yes, he works for them.
So that was again. Sorry, I meant to say fox, not fox.
No. You meant it. Don't lie to us. Don't lie.
So, was there anything else in these patch notes that you guys want to talk about that I may have missed? I tried to hit like the main ones. I wasn't getting too into the nitty gritty of them. But anything you guys want to talk about?
Bard motherfucking buffs.
So
Hell.
bards are getting potency buffs. Is that what it is?
Yeah. Flat out potency buffs.
Flat out potency buffs. Good on bard. I don't really. We haven't had a bard in our raid group for a really long time, so I have no idea how much DPS bards are doing or if they needed it at all.
About the same as a dancer.
Yeah.
But they don't give as much to the group.
I think it's like 1% direct hit on one song, 1 crit on one song, like 1% more crit on one song, and 1% more flat out damage on one song.
So not as much as the dancers.
No.
Nowhere near.
And like sometimes if you had like a really good dancer that had like really good like RNG, and it will just destroy a bard's like entire damage. Like okay, that's fun. Because I think bards are probably like one of the lowest. No, is the lowest damage dealer.
Surprising. It's one of the OGs.
Yeah. It was
Well, the problem is Bard was a very big support class. So when they made Dancer a support class, they kind of had to do something to outshine Bard because it was the new shiny thing. So Bard just got really unlucky. So hopefully Bard will take the crown again soon.
I wish they would like up the speed of Peloton by like 4 times. Then it'll be like the most popular job for dungeons.
It would be nice.
And I also wanted to play the as you're running around.
It's either like we kind of have to wait for Bard to take the new like kind of shining. We'll probably have to wait till like next expansion, so they can kind of like probably revamp it. Like I know I saw like what do I want for like Bard is just to have like an AoE song that is just like you have to like press buttons for it. Like I know we're talking about it on Moogaround about like how Ninja adopted the dancer kind of thing with their mudras and with their dances. Like, can Bard have something like that? Can I like do some like songs? I know like Bard his only gimmick is limbs are musicians apparently. Just the limbs are doing their freaking flutes, the bongo drums, and all that. Can we just actually like put that actually in the skill set? That would be cool.
You should just be like Guitar Hero comes up and you have to like play the correct notes. Just like buff
Hell yeah.
everyone's damage based on the combos that you do.
Hey, I'll get my guitar controller out right now. I still got one. Let's go. Let's go. Pick that
Donkey
up.
Kong, Bongo, Savage.
I think that would be cool. Or have like musical notes that are like damaging, and like you have to like do the buttons and it just fires out notes at them. That'd be pretty cool.
Hell yeah. Notes, and you see the like the damage coming from the notes as soon as it hits it. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, I think that'd be cool.
Uh,
Yeah, it doesn't have to be like a long cooldown. I would say like a good like a minute cooldown on it, because it would do like I don't know 20k for each note you hit. I think that'd be pretty cool.
Can you imagine if we had like unique limit breaks too? How awesome that limit break would be! Just like fucking going at him with the notes.
Just gets out a fucking electric guitar, giant speakers come out. Let's go.
Oh,
love it.
imagine if it affected the whole party and everyone pulls out like a random instrument.
That'd be great. That would be great.
Bongo
I'll at least
circle.
have one.
The monks have like drum sets. The ninja has like triangles.
Triangle. You know, the paladin just gets out some like bagpipes or something. You know,
Blue
I
Mage
think
just
the
sitting
warrior-
in the
the
corner
warrior-
with its recorder.
I think that'd be cool.
The
I'd
Blue
like to
Mage,
see-
it's like, remember that time at flute camp?
I don't know, a band camp. I really wish they would do more like Bard. You just play like you got 4 songs technically, and they're fucking shitty to look at. Like they have no decent animation.
Yeah, I
It's
never
just-
noticed the bard.
It's like you notice it on like the party list because you see the buffs, you know, but you don't actually like see it when you use it. So it's like just little effect, and that's it.
Yeah,
That's
the,
it.
the only thing I noticed is like Peloton. I'm like, yeah, going a little
Yeah,
bit
speed.
faster.
Let's go. It's a little bit more speed to get through this dungeon. But yeah, I wish they would do some more with Bard. Like the bow stuff's really cool. Don't get it wrong, like the bow skills and all that. But come on, you're a bard. What are bards known for?
Yeah, I mean,
Music.
their class is more indicative of how it plays than their job.
So you're just a glorified archer that occasionally says like a little sing along.
Yeah.
That's literally it.
Yeah.
But no, bards are more than that. Some bards are even assassins. A little bit of lore coming out of there? Some bards are assassins. Yeah, it's great.
I think
Bards.
the Lala that Avi's drawing is an assassin because that's a lot of ass.
That is a whole lot of ass. Chili thick
I
as
am
fuck.
really thick.
Chili thick as fuck.
Uh,
Chili, was there anything I missed in the patch notes that you would want to discuss?
Not really. I'm interested to see how Monk goes, but I don't want to talk about it until we know more.
Yeah, I think that's
Because
going to
I'm
be.
either going to be really angry or really angry.
I don't think that's major changes aren't going to be coming until patch 5.4.
Yeah, 5.3 is only changing form shift, which means you don't need Oppo form, and perfect balance is getting tweaked.
All right. So before we start wrapping it up, I have one more segment for everyone. Wild speculation. Do
Ooh.
you have any wild speculation for patch 5.3? If you have any off the top of your head, let me know, or else I can ask you some questions.
We've had a lot actually. Was it? I know Chili. Speculation is that we're gonna kill a certain Astian, but it's not gonna be us that kills him.
Yeah.
It's gonna be our love child, I guess. Our love boy from Big Sword Love Boy, Xenos.
You're
who's
moaning,
gonna be like,
you're moaning soundboard guy.
you're moaning sound boy guy. You know.
Okay, so what's your theory, Chili?
I feel like the Hero's Gauntlet. By the way, sorry if any of this is right, so I'm just going to give this as a.
Tulia.
My theory has always been the Hero's Gauntlet is going to be the bosses. At least they're going to be the Warriors of Light that were created at the end of 5.2. You know, during the Star Shower, and then at the end we're going to fight Ardbert, as the trial, but we all know it's Elidibus controlling Ardbert, so I feel like the normal version might just be Ardbert, and then the extreme version will be you fight Ardbert and then you fight Elidibus. So there might be like Ardbert Elidibus like we did with Ruby Weapon with normal as well. And then I feel like we'll injure Elidibus enough that he'll decide to leave the first and go back to the source. And once he walks back to the source, Xenos is going to be there to finish him off.
So Xenos is gonna kill Elidibus.
Yeah,
And then
Okay.
Xenos is going to become the like
the new Heart of Zodiac, the new
Heart of
Elidibus.
Oh my god, that is such a great humor. Are we gonna be allowed that on Twitch of how thick that is? We're gonna get flagged for nudity at that point. Look at that. Oof.
Gonna have to make a
I love it.
lewd
Yes.
emote.
So
All right.
I wanted a chili pog chat, man. I wanted a chili pog chat with his shit hat on.
So Chili's that's a mighty big prediction there, Chili. That's some wild speculation. What about you, Paul? Anything?
Ooh. I kind of already feel it. I don't want it to be because I'm a big Graha fan. I love my Crystal Exile boy, my baby boy. I don't want him to die, but I have a feeling he is gonna die, or he's gonna become one with the Crystal Tower. And that's how we're all gonna go back to the source, because we are ending obviously Shadowbringers. This is the end of Shadowbringers. Like fully. That's how all of our friends are gonna go back to the source.
The little Grahatia tree topper on top of the Crystal
Yeah.
Tower.
I don't want him to die. Like, I love him. I love him so much. I want to grow old with him, have sandwiches, fuck the people in the source. They can all die, I don't care.
Oh,
Let it happen.
thought you wanted to fuck the people in the source with Grahatia.
I mean,
big
I'd
ol'
like
source
the only person
orgy.
I wanted to in the source, and she's dead. Moonbreeder was my favorite character. I miss Moonbreeder. Should have done more with Moonbreeder. But no,
Agreed.
cut her off too soon. The only female row, other than the person that leads like Maelstrom. We need more female rows. That
Hey.
isn't me.
And she like hasn't existed since what? Heaven's Ward?
I think so. I think she played a little bit in like Shadowbringers. The Shadowbringers, Stormblood. So we went to like that one meeting that they wanted the Warrior of Light there, or Hero of
Oh yeah.
thing.
That
was,
one meeting.
That one meeting that just turned terrible.
All right, so mystery trial. Chili is guessing it's a Ardbert / Elidibus trial. Any speculation from you, Paul?
Nah, I think it's gonna be the Elizabeth trial probably.
I feel like that's right. Like, why else would they be really keeping it a secret? I had wanted a more goofy trial, kind of like a Hildebrand trial, a Gilgamesh trial type thing. And I think a extreme version of that would have been pretty damn fun. But I don't think we're going to get that because I don't think they would keep it a secret. But that's what I want. What about any deaths? Should we start a death pool? Who are you predicting, if anyone? Go ahead, Paul.
Ooh, I still want this to my heart because I want new people. I want new Scions to come out. I want our boy over in the source, who is a Scion as well, that we went to treasure hunt with. That the most crucial point. Hey, let's take a break. I want him to come out more. So I want Yustola to die.
Y'shtola
Not gonna
dying.
happen. Yustola. I want the poster girl Yustola to finally meet at the time end and not come back for any means necessary. But I kind of think Bunny Girl might die as well, actually.
The like leader of the
The forces.
Crystarium forces.
Crystarium.
I forget her name. They're like an Iceland. Oh, Lena. Yeah, that's right. Jack got the name.
So no, I think she might kind of lose it a bit with Graha kind of turn, and she might try and fight Albert, and Albert's just gonna go bitch slap her, and she's just gonna die. And it's like, eh.
And you had already said you kind of expect Grahatia to die, but you don't want him to.
I don't want him to, but it's leading that way so hard.
All right, Chili. Any death speculation?
I feel like it's just gonna be. It's gonna be weird, but I feel like we're gonna see the Crystal Exarch die. But I don't think we're gonna lose him as a character because I feel like after he dies, we're gonna get the one from the source, Grahatia from the Crystal Tower.
Hmm.
So yeah,
Or maybe a situation like the Word of the Mother, something like that.
yeah.
Okay,
So,
so maybe not death, but do you think like any scions might decide to stay in the first?
I
Tancred.
don't think so. No,
I
I think it's already agreed.
I think Tancred.
I kind of feel
I
like
think he's become
they,
too much of a father figure.
yeah, I feel like they're kind of setting it up for Thancred to stay in the source, or in the first. What about anyone from the first going to the source?
I don't think it's possible, really, is it? I
Ah,
mean, they could.
I'm sure
but-
they could retcon something up.
Yeah. Sid will invent some magic device somehow.
Fucking Sid. We had a whole fucking discussion about Sid. This man can make anything. Time travel. That's how the Crystal Exarch got. And it's like, Sid needs to wake the F up. He could probably go nuke. He could probably make a small little thing. It could be a nuke and just destroy the Empire by now. Like, the Empire has fucking space travel.
Sid's my favorite character, man.
Sid needs to wake up and like stop going off with these fucking friendly folk of the theater drama stuff. He needs to come back to Earth and be like, "Oh, wait a minute," and then it's like, "Oh, by the way, bro, I've made you a mech now."
Sid and Nero gonna take over the world.
Of course.
I mean, they might as well.
I think it'd be really funny if like Thancred was like, I'm gonna stay on the first to be with Areen, and then Areen's like, I'm going to the source to be with Thancred, and they swap places.
I mean, she feels like she wants to because obviously she has that connection with Thancred, they're like a father. But she has now got Gaia,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and so it's like, she had at least one friend, even though she had to lose like all of us. The
Well, she's
one
not gonna lose
thing-
us.
We can go back and forth as we choose.
Yeah.
She lost me for taking that stupid fucking Sheba thing because she's fucking stupid. Should have killed her. But the one thing, because I love the twins, I really do love the twins, like Alpha and Lizier, and the whole Lizier thing with that really pale boy back in Tesco's. He was helping Tesco's or Tessa. I call it Tesco. I don't know what I call it Tesco.
Oh yeah, the one who was like
Um,
being taken over by light or whatever.
Yeah. And it's like, I would like to, because I don't know if because she really wants to help. Like, yeah, she really wants to help him out. But we'll see. We'll see.
All right. Any other wild speculation?
Berserker class. We're gonna get a Berserker class next expansion.
In 5.3?
Wild speculation. Next expansion, Berserker class.
Surprise job like Ninja?
Yeah, surprise job. Berserker.
And it's a healer.
Yeah, a Berserker healer. Yeah, hell yeah, let's go, boys.
Heals you with
He just
action.
rages you. He just rages at you. That is really awesome. I love that emote now.
Aurora says they're gonna balance the healers, and by balance the healers, they mean buff white mage.
No.
They mean delete scholar.
Why did he scholar? What does scholar ever do?
I have no idea
Nothing.
about healers. I just
Nah,
picked
Scholar's
one.
pretty
Try
good.
to go with it.
Exactly.
I think that's all the wild speculation I have. So no one has called in for the community roundup. So I will open it up to both of you. Do you have anything you have going on? I believe, Paul, you had mentioned some magic. Chili, you had mentioned to me some Mioni. Anything you guys want to plug, go right ahead.
You want to go first, Chili, or what do you want to do? What do you want to do?
You go first, Paul.
Ooh. Well, I do a small little thing on Mondays really like late at night for me, usually around about 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning for me, where I talk about magic and different types of magic and different types of games and how different it is between how it's interpreted in all different types of games. Like I did, like my first episode was blood magic. We did necromancy recently. My newest one's gonna be frost magic. How that's interpreted through all these different games and have a little bit of lore into it as well. So it's called Knowledgeable Magical Lore.
And so you do that on Mondays. Where can they find that?
You can find that Moog Around Radio on Twitch. And you can find it on YouTube as well, which is Moog Around Radio on YouTube, where it gets uploaded eventually.
Excellent. Chili, do you have anything for us?
Well, I'd like to plug this amazing podcast called She Heals I Tank. Go check them out. Twitch.tv. She Heals I Tank. No, seriously, I want to shout out to Mioni. He's doing a Eureka community game, community runs every Saturday, 5 p.m. UK time, which is BST, which is GMT +1. It's on the Chaos Data Center, so if you've got a Chaos character, we currently just went through Animos. So, of course, if you do want to start with the group, they will help you because it's a wonderful free company. Tomorrow we'll be going into Pagos for the first time, so that'll be fun. So yeah, go check out. He's streaming it on his YouTube channel, so make sure you go follow him on YouTube. I think it's Climbcast, but it's not actually Mioni, so go check out Mioni's YouTube channel.
I'll link it in the show notes. And I think the only thing I want to give a little shout out to is the site I always use at the beginning of patches to find out all the new items. I always go to garlandtools.org. So if you're like me and you want to know all the new drops, all the new minions, that's where I go to as soon as the patch has been uploaded. They're really good about updating right after that. And garlandtools.org. Now for a little... oh, I didn't even do that, did I? I just said community roundup. I'll do it at the end. That was the community roundup, partner. Now I just have one little piece of listener reaction from Sword of Storms. They said, a suggestion for the Greenleaf Minute for She Heals I Tank. Make sure to unlock the weekly challenge log for extra XP. You can pick it up at level 15 in Limsa Lominsa, if I recall correctly. Once you have it unlocked, it resets every week automatically. And thank you so much for that. I actually think that might have been like the first or one of the first Greenleaf Minutes. So it's about time to do it again. But we are planning another like Greenleaf total episode for the next time the next time we're like away. So that would be pre-recorded.
By the way, about the challenge log, they've made a change to that for patch 5.3.
Yeah, I found it completely boring.
Now you can desynth items to get some XP.
And they've taken away the melding part.
Yeah.
Oh, not my melding.
Not fun. You don't get anything for melding 5 times anymore. But yeah. So like I said, there were a lot of minor changes that we might get into in future episodes. But with that, I think that is going to be it for this episode. As always, we have enjoyed hanging out with all of you here live at Twitch. So thank you for spending your time with us. Thank you again to the amazing Paul Metal and Chili from Moogle Go Round Radio. Make sure you go follow them, twitch.tv/Moogle Go Round Radio. Look them up in iTunes and pretty much every podcast app, Moogle Go Round Radio. Be sure to hit that follow button so you know the next time we will be going live. And a big thank you to everyone listening to the podcast via iTunes, Stitcher, Podbean, or whatever app you choose to consume your shit on. You are really the reason we keep making episodes. And remember, wherever you do listen, it would mean a shit ton to us if you gave our little shit podcast a rating or review, or, just tell a friend to check us out. Here with Aviel, Chili, and Paul, we will talk to you next week. Goodbye.
Well, we won't.